Hi there guys, Sam here, welcome back to another video. Join me once again in my Mk8 Golf R to talk a little bit around the Mk8 Golf R and that sort of 0 to 60 sprint that it's got on its hands. So yeah, let's get straight into this one. Just welcome back to another video, I hope you're all well. Yeah, and basically I'll put a little bit of a clip on screen now, and basically it shows, well, first of all, manufacturers' claims of 0 to 60 runs or 0 to 100 kilometers an hour runs can always be a bit, yeah, I'd actually like to say they're mostly conservative. I don't think they tend to like overreach themselves basically on what they think a car is capable of, and they tend to do this because of varying factors like the quality of fuel that you've got in the car, the number of people in the car, loads of different things. And they don't even necessarily say, you know, this is the absolute perfect conditions that we're in, this is the 0 to 60 run it can do. Now the Mk8 Golf R does have launch control, so it's a little bit more predictable in what it can do. But I was quite surprised by this. So as you've probably seen on screen, just the car kind of shooting forward, it did 0 to 60 in about 4.4 seconds in the wet, which that's pretty good going. I mean, if you compare that to say the competition, and you compare it to say, well, the Mk7 Golf R, the one that I'm in today, in a DSG format, it's right. It's about at the right place, I think. I don't necessarily think it's anything to massively shout about. I think a lot of my subscribers and people are like, oh, you know, it's really rapid, it's really, really cool. And yeah, it is. You know, it's great for, you know, it seems to have like slightly improved in itself and stuff. You know, a little bit of extra brake horsepower there, a more sophisticated launch control system, etc., probably helps. But, and again, 7.5 and Mk7 owners can probably help me out. In stock form, were you sort of getting those sort of times? Yeah, were you getting those sort of 0 to 60 times? And okay, fair enough, this was in the wet, so in bone drying conditions it could even dip in like a lot closer to the 4-second mark. So that's really, really quick, really, really impressive. So why have I kind of done this video? Well, first of all, to talk about it to you guys, you know, I think it's yeah, it's a nice topic on the channel to talk about. Is it the be all or end all when you buy a car? No. Is it a nice headline figure? Yes. I think it would have been pretty disappointing if it was like, I guess, in the world that we live in today, if it was like 5 seconds or something like that. So that's really good. And I think it's kind of making its mark a little bit more. And I like how it still kind of has these little things to kind of keep things entertaining, if that makes sense. So it's got drift mode, it's got launch control. Okay, you're never really going to use it. Are you ever going to use it? Maybe, maybe not. But it's just nice to have. And I think it's just, yeah, it's a bit of like, this is what the car can reach. These are some of the cool things it can do. And that's actually quite a nice thing to kind of drive around in. So that's really, really cool. I think a good race to see would be an Audi S3 up against the Golf R to really see if the little extra changes have made difference. That's the best way to compare and contrast. You know, it's similar, well, it's the same engine, slightly different revised amount of tuning, slightly different sort of four-wheel drive system in the Golf R. You know, the way the rear diff kind of works seems to be more complex than that in the Audi S3. So I think that's really, really interesting to kind of find out. Also to know, are the looks starting to grow on people? Because interestingly, when I first kind of, well, I showed some of like the early images of the Golf R just from like some spy shots and some snapshots. And I'll put a link up to there if you fancy seeing those. And well, it's exactly the same as that, so that's quite good. But a lot of people sort of said, oh no, they've kind of lost it. It doesn't look good, doesn't look great. I think it looks really nice, actually. I think it looks really, really smart. Do some sort of clips around, and, you know, I think out in the open, in the real world, you know, it's a good looking car. And I think the Mk8 Golf will kind of grow on people. I mean, personally, for me, GTI, Club Sport R are the ones I would kind of look at, and the looks wise, I think, yeah, I think they work really, really well with the car and the platform. And it's a nice swan song for what I probably think is actually kind of like the end of the R in some ways, in kind of the form that we know it today. You know, it's quite clear that Volkswagen have other priorities. You know, you look at electric, you look at hybrid, they're sort of showing the R brand in a different light. Almost to take away from what the GTI has been so iconic on. Yeah, they're kind of moving across from that side. But I think, yeah, I think they've sort of ended it in the right way. As I've said many times before, I think I think it's the one to beat at the moment, the Golf R. I know it's a new thing that's out there, so always the new kid in the block is the one to kind of set yourself up against. But I think it does kind of pack the performance, and it's definitely worthy of the name. I just wish that it wouldn't cost as much as it did, at nearly £50,000. I genuinely cannot believe it, particularly in the crisis type of world that we're in today. It's very, very hard for me to kind of understand. I've kind of mentioned it before. I'm sitting in a car here, which you could probably almost have 3 of these cars for that price. On the second-hand market, which is where my channel might come in handy, because I know there's a lot of people who might be able to find themselves being able to get into a Mark 7 or a Mark 7.5 Golf R now, and I still obviously will do plenty of content on that as well. But let me know what you think about the 0 to 60 run, 0 to 100 km/h run of the Mark 8 Golf R. Do you think it's anything to shout about? Do you think it's actually quite impressive, particularly in the wet time that was kind of shown? I'll leave in the description kind of links of where I've seen these videos from. Is it something as a potential owner or just an enthusiast that you really care about and you really kind of hang on to? For me personally, I don't necessarily drive around in this car because it can do 0 to 60 in a fast time. I enjoy it because I like it. I'm not necessarily trying to play the top trumps game. I think the Golf plays that sort of two-sided street mode quite well, and I think the Mark 8 Golf R can still continue that. The rear wing is quite massive on some of the clips as well, really, really big. So potentially a standard car might be the way to go as well, and you can be kind of happy that you've saved a little bit on options as well at the same time. With the Akrapovic exhaust, with the performance pack, you're straight away £5,000 up on your base Golf R. So it's an awful lot of money. But listen, really interested to know your thoughts in the comments. Just a casual little video. Just thought I'd talk about it, and 0.64.4 seconds in the wet. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a fast time, and certainly it'll be interesting to hear more about it further in the future and discuss it with you. And if you do get a chance, please like, share, subscribe. That really does help this community channel. Likes actually do a really big thing to actually growing the channel. I'm heading up to 1,500 of you guys now, so listen, thank you so much for the support over the years, and I hope you enjoy the content, because I'll keep on bringing it to you in wet and tough times, and I hope you enjoy it. But listen, thanks so much for watching. Drop a comment as always, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.